door. Someone help me. Help me. My name is Dr. Johan. Oh, well, here I am, and welcome to my Halloween countdown series, where I'm counting down, sorta, kinda, 5 of my favorite scary movies, Halloween related. I did this a few years ago, so I really wanted to do this again, and please don't mind this. I just want to try this and see just kind of how this comes out, and I guess just kind of see what you all think. Still working on camera shots and stuff of that nature with the background, just kind of get it into a groove. But, so I'm going to do 5 of these. I'm doing the first one today. I'll do another one on probably Friday. And then every week up till Halloween, I'll continue one on Saturday. So I'll probably do it on Saturday. But, I'm doing Paranormal Activity. I love these movies, okay? A lot of people don't, but I really do. I really do love these movies. They do get cheesy as the series continues to go along, and I can admit that. But I wanted to tackle this one, and maybe I'll do the other ones at another point in time, but I'm going to start off this countdown with this one. Of course, Paranormal Activity was produced, it was put out in 2007 by Blumhouse. It was directed, produced, written, and edited by Orion Pelly. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name. But it also stars Kate Featherston and Micah Sloat, who are playing Kate and Micah in the movie. And look, this will be a non-spoiler review. All those reviews for the next 4 weeks will be non-spoiler. So, okay, if you've not seen this movie, it's not what started the found footage genre, but it definitely pushed it into the conscious mind, really got it to where it was much more mainstream. Of course, Blair Witch being the first that I can recall that did that. But this movie, it is found footage, but it is also super, super simple. It's a very simple movie, a very simple premise. You got Kate and Micah, who are together. They're a couple young people living in a house, and something is basically trying to get to them. That is the basis of this entire movie. And I remember the first time I saw this, I was actually, sorry, I'm just making sure my candles aren't burning, nothing. But I was actually in Iraq the first time I saw this movie. And I'm not going to lie, I fell for it. I thought it was real too. So I remember going up and searching for Micah Sloat and their deaths and all this stuff. And of course, it turns out it wasn't true. They were just actors. So yes, 20-some-odd-year-old me fell for it. Now I really do like this movie. I like the slow build. I like the way that they take their time and they build you up to it. A lot of real terrifying moments in this movie. And I'm not someone who scares easily. So for me, watching this, even in a room full of people in Iraq, it was kind of like, okay, it got me. It got to me. It got under my skin. It would be one of those movies that if I were to go home, I'd want to flip on the light before I did anything. But, back to the premise. Kate, and like I said, no spoilers, maybe light spoilers at max, light spoilers. But Kate, who has been followed by this since she was a child, brings this into the home with her. Mika, of course, is kind of testing it, keeps pushing at it. And Mika is a very hard character to try to get a hold of and try to really understand, because he does a lot of bonehead decisions throughout this movie. So it's really hard to get behind him, and you feel bad for Kate because she's begging him at points to just leave it alone, but his curiosity's got the best of him. It's almost like a child, the way that he's treating this, because it's new to him. So it's kind of understandable why he feels the way that he feels and why he's so into it. But she even brings in a psychiatrist, or psychic. What was I going with that? A psychic, Dr. Fredericks, I think is how you say it, played by Mark Fredericks. This is a very simple movie, and everyone's basically playing themselves. But he comes in, he tells them that he doesn't think it's a ghost. He's pretty sure it's demonic. But he can't be there, so they get Dr. Johann, who you never meet because Mika's kind of like, no. That's about as far as I'm going to go with spoilers. But I think what kept this movie and made this into a franchise is Blumhouse made this on a very, very small budget. And it made a lot of money on this. And even the sequels after that weren't that good kept making money. To my surprise, or not to my surprise, ends up meaning we're getting a 7th movie. I enjoyed these movies. I really, really did. I think they were... This one in particular was a very interesting one. The way that suspense build, the way you never see this entity throughout this movie. But you get that sense and that it's there. You feel that dread as you go along in this movie with these characters. And you feel for Katie. You find out about her backstory and what led up to this for her. And then they, of course, later on expand upon that in later sequels, which, again, maybe I'll get to those. Maybe next Halloween I'll review the next one. I don't know. But it's a really good, actual scary movies. Not really any jump scares. There's maybe 1 or 2 jump scares in this movie, maybe 3 that are like, oh, yeah, that was a jump scare. But there's no music, no score in this movie, just ambient noise at certain points. And you just hear the footsteps, oh, son of a gun, I knocked over my microphone. Let's not do that again. But, oh, I gotta fix that. But that's about the extent of what you get in this movie with jump scares. Otherwise, it's a build, a constant build that barely lets you have that release from it. And it keeps making it more and more intense throughout the movie. And I think that's what I really loved about it. And it just genuinely scared me. And this is a movie that every year I can go back and I can rewatch it. I can just rewatch this movie at any time. And truthfully, this movie and the rest of the Paranormal Activity movies are a good binge for the holiday. That's why I threw this on here. I kind of regret that I didn't do this the prior time, but I guess it is what it is. But, it is. It's a movie that I thoroughly enjoyed, was scared by. The characters are good. Acting's not great at points, but it's such a small cast. It's just these 2 people you focus on throughout the movie. And yeah, you feel that connection with Katie. You kind of don't like Mika at times. But then there's times you're like, oh, well, maybe he's not such a bad guy. But then he does things you're like, dude, you're a douchebag. So, I don't know. That's pretty much it. If I keep going, I might end up going into spoilers. But that's my quick review. That's what I think of this movie. I loved this movie. I really did. And I would definitely recommend that anyone who goes or hasn't seen this to see this. And if you haven't, just rewatch it. It's got great replayability. But y'all let me know down in the description what you think. So, for the next video of this countdown, I'm doing A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. No, it's not 1, it's not 3, but it's actually really good and maybe even my guilty pleasure. But that's going to do it for me, you guys. Happy early Halloween. And remember, Nation, well, join the nation. Y'all have a great night. Goodbye.